What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Slam Duncan YouTube channel. We got a game to discuss between the Bulls and the Timberwolves when the Bulls got an OT win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. And we also have to discuss the big thing right now that a lot of Bulls fans are talking about, which it's good to see, but, let's not get too excited about it. But the Bulls are currently 6th in the Eastern Conference, which is so great to see. So it's good to see the Bulls are, in that spot, in a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference right now. But I'll get into that in a little bit. But before we get into everything, though, in this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, especially if you're a Bulls fan, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I promise you, man, if you're a Bulls fan watching this video right now, hit that subscribe button. I make Bulls content like weekly, and I promise you it will be worth your time. So hit that subscribe button. And I got a comment question for you guys that I want you to answer in the comment section down below. I usually don't do this, but I just want to gauge where a lot of Bulls fans are. But the trade deadline's coming up on March 25th, right? So, in your opinion, as the Bulls are currently right now 15 and 16, and they have a playoff spot, but, mind you, the Eastern Conference is pretty just kind of, jammed up in one area right now. Do the Bulls become sellers at the trade deadline, or do they become buyers at the trade deadline? You tell me in the comment section down below. I want to hear your thoughts, and I'll be replying to you guys in that comment section as well. So make sure you answer that question in the comment section. But let's get into this game, and then let's talk about the Bulls being the 6th seed. But 133 to 126. If you follow me on Twitter, I'd said that there was no defense play in this game, and that is very true. There was no defense play in this game whatsoever. And I thought the beginning of the game for the Bulls, especially the first half, was pretty overall solid on the offensive end. Neither team is playing defense, but the Bulls did pretty well. What's interesting, though, is that they only won one quarter and then OT in the entire game. So, the first half looked overall good. The first quarter was but the second half was kind of scary. There were good moments throughout the game, and there were also just some terrible moments. First off, the 21 turnovers is an issue, but luckily the Timberwolves turned it over 17 times as well. So that kind of evened out at the end of the day for us, and luckily it did. Assists were up, and that's good to see. So this team's still continuing to pass the ball, and as you can see, the shooting percentage was great tonight. But unfortunately, it went to overtime. And I have to say that this Bulls team did this was good to see that they won this game, but there were a bunch of issues that we saw this game. And I was happy with what Donovan and Levine were saying in their press conferences, saying that, it's good that we won, but Donovan was saying, I expect more, and Levine says he's not satisfied. Because this game, you should not be satisfied with this performance. Yeah, he got the win, but it was an ugly performance. And I'm glad that Donovan and Levine and the team understand that it was an ugly performance. Just quick look at the stats here. To be honest, I think that Bulls actually contained Karl-Anthony Towns pretty well, all things considered. He did pick up those 6 fouls, which really helped contain him. But I think overall, Wendell Carter Jr. and Thaddeus Young did a great job at containing him, because you can't stop Karl-Anthony Towns. You just have to, limit his possessions and limit his opportunities, which I think the Bulls did. Anthony Edwards had a very inefficient shooting night, but he also had some great moments. And I think, to be honest, the person that does not get enough credit for the Timberwolves is Ricky Rubio. He was doing such a great job of getting into the paint, and this was one of the problems tonight with the Bulls is too many times the Bulls let the Timberwolves get into the paint. So paint penetration was an issue for the defense tonight. And it wasn't the big men. It was mostly the guards, and specifically Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio was getting into the paint too much tonight. And then quick look at the Bulls stats. Zach LaVine had another efficient shooting game and put up 35 points, which was great to see. But he did have 7 turnovers, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But the entire team was turning the ball over, unfortunately, tonight. And that, I was hoping that issue was, being solved, and unfortunately it doesn't look like it's being solved yet, as the last, 10 games, they've been doing pretty well at the turnovers, but turnovers were an issue again tonight. I think Wendell Carter Jr. was the second best player for the Bulls tonight. He had another double-double, so it's his 5th double-double or 6th double-double in the season. And I think he did a good job of really containing Cat and locking down the paint. As you can see, Wendell just fills up the box score, and he's going to do that. He's not going to score, 30 points, but he's going to give you a lot. And I think Patrick Williams also played pretty well. Unfortunately, he did not get a lot of crunch time minutes because this Bulls team definitely needed the vets in during crunch time, even though the vets did not really play very well, including Thaddeus Young in the second half. Both him and Satoransky did not play very well in the second half. But Bulls are now the 6th seed, but, I really don't consider it the 6th seed because, as you can see, 7 through 10 also have 15 wins, right? And if you look all the way down to the Wizards, who are down here, the Wizards are only three games behind the Bulls in the 13th seed. So just for all you Bulls fans, don't expect this team to stay in the 6th seed or stay in the playoffs. One loss can shift this team all the way down to the 10th seed. Just one loss can shift all the way down. Like, that's where Bulls fans have to understand. It's like, yeah, we're the 6th seed, great. At least we're making progress. We already have 15 wins on the season, right? And that's great to see. But let's just don't get comfortable here because clearly this team is going to get out of the playoff hunt again. Like, we're going to be out of the playoffs. We're going to be in the 9th seed. We're going to be the 10th seed again at some point this season. It's just going to happen because the Eastern Conference is so clumped up. I mean, just look from the 4th seed down all the way to the 13th seed. It's separated by 4.5 games, right? Or actually 3.5 games. My bad. 3.5 games. But to the 14th seed, it's 4.5 games. I'm sorry. So 4 through 14 is just so jam-packed. It's separated by 4 games. Don't get too comfortable in that 6th seed if you're a Bulls fan. So, this team's going to have ups and downs this entire season, and I've said it in all my videos previously that the Bulls were not supposed to make the playoffs this season. That's not the main goal. The goal of this season was to develop guys, and they've done that this season. So, check that off the list, and hopefully that continues. But also, it's evaluation season for Arkarna Chauvas and Mark Eversley in the front office, right? This isn't supposed to be like we need to make the playoffs. We 100% need to make the playoffs, and we'll see what the front office's plans in light at the trade deadline. If there'll be buyers, if there'll be sellers, we're going to see what's going to happen. But I want to get through a little bit of gameplay and then talk about the end of the game and talk about the Kobe White foul. And I'm going to talk about Zach LaVine first. So I mentioned earlier that Zach, he had those 7 turnovers, which I think Zach LaVine, overall, he had a pretty good game. I think defensively, he kind of struggled a little bit at times, but he's still improving on the defensive end. We're seeing it, right? There's no doubt about it that he's improving it defensively. The turnovers, though, tonight, one of them was he was trying to grab a rebound, and it went out of bounds. So, that turnover, I don't count. If you have your guys hustling for a rebound and it ends up going out of bounds, you live with it, in my opinion. But a lot of times, I think tonight, Zach was just kind of sloppy with the ball. And this is something that he needs to work on. I mean, I see that his ball handling has improved so much this year. And, obviously he got the all-star spot and deservingly so. But he does need to work on his passing. Like, it can't be as sloppy. There are some turnovers tonight, and it's just going to happen where it's like he's making the right pass, but, it's just good hands by the Timberwolves. And that's okay to me. Like, if you're trying to make the right pass and it ends up, being tipped, then that's okay. But, there was a pass in overtime by Zach to Kobe White as a bounce pass to the wing, and it just went right out of bounds. It was just a horrible pass. Like, that type of stuff needs to be limited. But overall, I think just in general, 14 for 21, 35 points, that's incredible shooting efficiency, right? So, still overall great game for Zach. I want to kind of break down some things here, and I want to talk about just how much Zach has grown as a player and as a leader this season. So, first off, the Bulls did not get up to that great of a start at the start of the game. I'm not going to show the highlights here, but Zach was very passive in the first 4 minutes of the game. And then Billy Donovan called timeout, and then immediately right out of the timeout, Zach then scored 5 straight points, I think. So, I was just happy to see that, Zach was, distributing early, which, that's like a common occurrence now. You see usually LaVine comes down and it's like, I'm going to start distributing early, and then I'll get my shots if I'm wide open, but I'm going to try to set up my guys first. And then he saw, or maybe Billy Donovan said something in the timeout, but this team was struggling to score right out of the gate. They got some good shots, but it was just like they were missing their open shots, and guys were turning over the ball. So he saw that, recognized it's like, okay, my team needs my scoring right now. It doesn't need my passing. I need to score the ball. And he did just that. And then I want to show you just his takeover ability, and this is in the third quarter, but maybe not takeover ability, I should say, but more just his ability to shot create and bail a team out of a bad possession. I'm going to show you a couple of possessions in a row here that was just like, it was a horrible possession by the Bulls, and it's not on Zach. Like, this was just overall a terrible possession by the entire team, and Zach was still able to bail out the team and score a bucket out of it. Like, that's a superstar right there. Is that you got a guy that can bail you out of a terrible possession, and Zach is becoming that right now. So first off, and this is his first points of the third quarter here. It's just showing off his athleticism. But I think next two plays here really show what I'm talking about. So unfortunately, you can't see the entire play, which I wish you could. But right here, you're gonna recognize 7 seconds now on the shot clock, and you see Zach has the ball and he's down low in the post, but he just bobbled it. And the entire possession right here is just gone out of the window. Their first action didn't work, and then Zach mishandled the ball. Now it's loose, and so it's like you got 7 seconds, and the Timberwolves are starting to come back right now, right? So it's up to Zach to do something, right? And he needs to somehow create a shot, and this was very Jordan-esque of him right here. Reverse layup under the rim. Oh my gosh, man, that was incredible, and I was so happy to see that because I'm like, man, is Zach going to be able to actually bail this Bulls team out of another possession here? And he did just that with that incredible shot. So, incredible shot by Zach. And then this is another possession here where the Bulls just had nothing going. I think it was a double pick and roll set with Thaddeus Young, and both times it didn't work with Zach. And now it's like, okay, guys, you're kind of standing around. You got 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and this has become part of Zach's arsenal this season, and it's become consistent, right? And it's being able to shoot a 3 with late in a shot clock, but also get his defender on skates with just, a few seconds left on the shot clock. So just watch this. He pump fakes him here, and then, got him, and he takes the second shot right there, and oh my gosh. Again, bailing out this team of bad possessions. Now, here's the thing. I think this Bulls team overall offensively had some great possessions today, and I think the offense was pretty good, as you saw with just the shooting numbers, and obviously the score, 133 points, right? And 59% from the field. But this Bulls team, still being young, still has some issues where they'll, run a first action, they'll run a second action, but then nothing comes out of it, and they're like, what do we do now? But this is what separates teams, is if you have a guy, if you're running your offense properly, but nothing comes out of it just due to good defense, then you have a guy that can go out and get his own shot. And we have that right now in Zach LaVine. So don't undervalue that. Don't undervalue a guy like that right now. So that's all I want to show you from Zach, and just his growth and his ability just to take over a game when necessary. It's been great to see that this season because the Bulls have not had a player like this for a long time. Now, I want to show just one good play as a team here. I think this is where the Bulls are really starting to become that winning type team, is that they're starting to understand, like especially these young guys, like what you're supposed to be doing in certain situations. So right here, Karl-Anthony Towns in the post. You got Wendell Carter Jr. guarding him, and we all know just in general that Wendell can't guard like a Karl-Anthony Towns. And not a lot of guys can't guard Karl-Anthony Towns one-on-one, right? Especially if he has a low post position. You need to get the ball out of his hands, right? Because otherwise it could be 2 points or get to the free throw line. This right here, unfortunately, again, you can't see the entire play, but this is such a good job by Wendell Carter Jr. and the entire Bulls team defensively here. Because one of the things Billy Donovan's now doing is, if a guy has low post position, and this is probably learned from the 76ers game when they faced Embiid, right? If a big man has low post position, what the Bulls are gonna do is they're gonna double team from the weak side, right? So as you can see, Thaddeus Young is coming over from the weak side. So his man's right here, but he's coming over. But one of the problems I kept seeing with the double team is that the Bulls, the main guy who was guarding the big man, does not know where the double team is coming from. Therefore, he then either goes too far top side, or he doesn't allow the double team to come to where it should be on the baseline. Therefore, then you give up an easy paint like hook shot, and that's where it's like, as a team defensively, but mainly in the center, in this case Wendell, he has to be aware of like, okay, I know that a double team's coming, but I need to know where it's coming from and where I should position myself so we can get the ball out of this guy's hands, right? And right here, just in this frame right here, you see that Wendell's doing everything right. So now that Thaddeus Young is in position to come over and double team, Wendell then goes topside to take away the paint area, and Thaddeus Young's coming from the baseline side, right? So now this takes away the baseline area for Cat, and now what happens here up in the perimeter, it's up to Garrett Temple to make sure that he gets in the just whoever Cat passes it to, which, by the way, throwing it to the weak side, to either here or here, is a very hard pass to do in the low post. So already this is a good job by the Bulls. Now, if Cat somehow gets his pass off, it's incredible. But Garrett Temple is then in charge to take the man whoever the ball is being thrown to, so either the paint guy or the perimeter guy, right? But Cat then tries to throw it in, and I think Thaddeus Young actually gets the ball, tips the ball out, which is, still good hands overall. So active hands is a good thing. But as you can see right here, Garrett Temple was in position, and that's really good by Garrett Temple, is that he was in position on the weak side to go ahead and tip that ball out to not allow easy paint look. This is good defense by the Chicago Bulls right here. And I'm so happy to see this now because as much as I love Wendell, we know that guys like Cat or even just an Embiid or an Anthony Davis, like those are unguardable guys no matter who you have on your roster. So you need to find ways to get the ball out of their hands and make the other guys on the team make decisions with the basketball, and this is doing just that. And in this case, the Bulls right here, you get the tip. It was a good double team, like perfectly executed double team, good weak side help by Garrett Temple, and the Bulls get the turnover. And then this leads to fast break points for Levine here, who should have probably passed it, but I'm also okay with him just making sure he secured that bucket because Ricky Rubio is very sneaky. So good overall team defensive play right there. I just wanted to show. Now, last thing I want to do before I wrap up this video, which is I hope it's shorter than the other ones. I'm tired. I want to talk about the last play in regulation, which was Ricky Rubio getting to the free throw line and shoot three free throws. Now, I've already seen on Twitter on just showing how many casual Bulls fans right now are watching, and unfortunately there are a lot in Bulls Nation, and it drives me insane to see such things because I saw so many people start flaming Kobe White immediately, saying that he's such a dumb player. How dare he do such a thing? Why is Billy Donovan having him in the game whatsoever? And that makes me upset. Do I think Kobe White has had a great year? No, but I think he's developing, and you can love Lonzo Ball. That's 100% your opinion, but don't let Lonzo Ball dictate your hate towards Kobe White on this play. Like, don't let that happen, right? Because this was not on Kobe White. First off, the officials messed up on this play, and what's new? The officials always screw over the Bulls, right? But this was, I think, perfectly executed in my opinion. Now, Donovan then did come out and say that it was executed just a tad bit late, but in my opinion, this was executed pretty good. And I just want to make it very clear to Bulls Nation that this was not Kobe White's fault. Billy Donovan wanted Kobe White to foul right there. All right, now watch. So first off, so you guys understand context here, the Bulls had a foul to give, and this makes sense to take a foul to give if there's only 9.7 seconds left, because once you see the Timberwolves go into their action to get that 3-point shot off, right? If you foul, then the Timberwolves have to reset, and then the Bulls get a reset. Therefore, then it's harder for the Timberwolves because they have less time to inbound and then take the shot, right? So it's a smart play, and this is good by Billy Donovan to have ideas like this in your head, because a guy like Greg Popovich just uses this really frequently, is that he uses his foul to give, right? So let's watch this play. So right here, now, as you can see, now that Rubio has the ball, you don't want to foul right here, because the action is just about to start, right? You want to foul when the actions are when Rubio's about to throw it to the guy. I think it's Malik Beasley. They're trying to get the shot, but you don't want to foul right here because that only took 1.7 seconds off, right? You want to take a little bit more time off and then foul. So right here, Kobe White, right here, and then I think Kobe White fouled here initially, which is good, right? As you can see now, the action's really being played out here, and the Bulls did a good job because they're making sure that whoever this is, I think it is Malik Beasley, doesn't get an easy shot off the screen here. But in my opinion, I think Kobe White fouled here. And as you can see right now, this official probably can't see it very well, but this official right here is paying attention to this play right here, which is important to be paying attention to. But the officials missed it, right? And then you keep going. I think he fouls again right here, and Rubio just picked up his dribble. He is nowhere near his shooting form, right? And then White then really grabs him, and this to me looks like a lob. You could argue what it is, but in my opinion, that's a lob, and to me that was a pass. Therefore, the foul should have been on the floor, and I sincerely believe that the officials screwed over the Bulls in this game right here, because I don't know what they're looking at initially, because you gotta watch the ball here, but Kobe White fouled Ricky Rubio twice before then the actual foul was called when he hit him a third time, right? And either way, I don't think Ricky Rubio was in a shooting form right there. I want to make it clear to Bulls fans, though, that this was what Billy Donovan wanted. He wanted Kobe White to foul Ricky Rubio when the action, or when Rubio was about to pass that ball to the three-point shooter, to make the Timberwolves have to reset. And that's a smart play. That's exactly a smart play. But I see too many people flaming Kobe, saying that he's so dumb for doing such a thing. First off, Rubio didn't take the shot, so it really wasn't that dumb in the first place. But secondly, Billy Donovan told him to do that. And you can even check it right here. Billy Donovan takes fault for instructing Bulls to foul late, which gave Wolves 3 free throws when it was ruled shooting. And then even Donovan said that he thinks that he caused confusion for the players, which, you can argue what it was, but he said that White did it just a little bit too late. He's probably going to go back and see that Kobe White executed that perfectly. They just didn't call it. The officials were so late on that call. So that's on the officials. Do not blame Kobe White for this play. Did it send the Bulls to OT? Yes, but that's the officials' fault. Kobe White did exactly what he was told. You can argue if it was too late or not, but Billy Donovan told him to do that. It wasn't Kobe White just randomly fouling Ricky Rubio at the top here. Don't think it was just Kobe White making a dumb decision. This was planned, all right? So for all you casuals out there that think you know basketball, don't jump to conclusions. Stop flaming Kobe White for this play. This was the right play to do. It just happened to not go the Bulls' way. So I just want to get that out there. I think this is actually a really smart play by Donovan, and this is the reason why I like him as a coach, because he's going to do these types of plays to put his team in the best position to win, and making the Timberwolves have to reset this play with no timeouts left is a pretty good decision and will help this team in the future if they can execute it properly. And it puts a lot of pressure on this team to make an actual good shot and a really good pass and shoot it really quickly. And that probably means that they're going to miss a shot because they have to make decisions so quickly and they don't have a bunch of time, right? So that's all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, especially if you're a Bulls fan. I promise you it'll be worth your time. And answer my question down below if the Bulls should be a selling team at the trade deadline or a buying team at the trade deadline. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.